De regreso aquí en Auto 060, and again we're gonna switch back to English because now we have Jesse Toprak from Chief Analyst from Cars.com, who's gonna give us what's coming up for 2014 in terms of sales for cars in the U.S. How are you, Jesse?
Very good, Javier. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. So we just closed up on a very good year for the auto industry, and it seems it's gonna continue in 2014, right?
Yes, from all the indications we gather, it appears that the momentum we've gathered the last 2 years, 3 years in industry sales is going to take us to over 16.4 million units in 2014, which will mean another healthy year of sales.
Yeah, and this is obviously driven by a really good product, but also the fact that there's a lot of old cars out there on the road.
A lot of people do need to replace their vehicles, that is true. Many consumers postponed buying a car during the recession. Now there's just coming to basically the mechanical limits of their age, and we're also seeing a lot of very good financing and leasing offers that are bringing more people to showrooms and enabling them to get into a new or used car.
Yeah, Ford also just announced a 3.3 billion profit in quarter four last year, which was pretty good, and they've been coming up with a really good product like everybody else. Any other highlights in terms of what you're expecting to sell a lot in 2014?
I think domestic automakers in general are poised for a good year. There are a lot of products coming in. You mentioned Ford. Ford will have 14 brand new vehicles this year, and Chrysler actually, if you look at the market share improvement and sales growth, was the top domestic automaker for the last several years, and GM will also have a decent year. When we look at overall categories, small cars may actually stabilize somewhat. You know, the smaller vehicles, due to high gas prices, been on growth for the last several years, but this year gas prices seems to be in check. And larger vehicles, too, are now getting better gas mileage, so we're probably going to see coming back to the mid-size, large SUVs, minivans, and large trucks by consumers throughout the year.
Yeah, one of the big announcements at the Detroit Auto Show was the F-150 from Ford, again, with the aluminum body, which they claim is going to save about 20% in gas mileage. So I'm pretty sure that car is going to continue to be the #1 seller in the U.S. for, like 37 years now?
It is, and it's remarkable. And if you look at it, Ford F-150 is able to go across demographics. They not only gather consumers from professional and obviously businesses buying, but also consumers who like to get a truck for their lifestyle. Tends to be their top choice. The aluminum body is going to be interesting. You know, we're going to see how the reaction is. Obviously, it's much more gas efficient, but there's some questions regarding the durability, which isn't really true because Ford has proven that the durability of the vehicle is just as good, if not better. But it's a brand new technology that it might take some convincing for the old-time buyers.
Yeah, one of the car manufacturers was doing really well in the past few years, and now it's not doing so well. Is the Volkswagen, right? I mean, what's going on there? Because they really have good product too, but I guess the competition has catch up, or what's going on there?
You know, Volkswagen is a major force pretty much anywhere they sell cars in around the globe. And the fact that they're not a major force in the U.S. market is an anomaly. And I think when I look at it objectively, what's happening with Volkswagen right now, it has a lot to do with their design. A lot of people who buy Volkswagens around the world don't buy it just because they're the prettiest car. They buy it because they bring a lot of value. They're cheaper, and if you need to buy a car, they're reliable. So their value proposition works. In the U.S., though, in the crowded segments they sell cars in, their design appears to be a bit outdated. So I think as they renew their cars with the coming up redesigns, they probably need to be a bit more aggressive and be competitive in the U.S. market.
Excellent. So we're talking with Jesse Toprak, from Chief Analyst from Cars.com, and I guess people just can go to the website and look for more information about these and other things that are going on over there, right?
Any new car or used car you're looking for, you're going to see some of the most extensive listings of dealer inventory. and a bunch of advice that will help you buy a car and maintain a car and so on.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jesse, for the information, and we'll talk soon about, to see what an update on these sales predictions for 2014.
Sounds good. Thanks, okay.
Thank you. Bye.